talk to me about 30-day getting 30 pips or 20 pips a day, but at the end of the day, because they are trying so much, so hard to get 30 pips, they end up losing the 30 pips they got in one day. They lose it. And what is the easiest way for them to keep it? Well, I'm going to talk about, in general, the direction of a currency. And we're going to take any currency so you guys can see it and understand it where it is. At the moment, we have the euro yen on the screen. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to change that to a currency that everyone understand, like everyone uses. And for you guys, since you guys are new, if we're trading together, one of the most liquid, there are two exceptional currencies that we can all trade that's really, really easy. And those currencies are the Euro USD. I'm not even going to do the Euro yen, okay? Let me pick the USD yen first, okay? Then we'll go from there. So this is going to take a moment to load, so give it a second. Okay, this is the USD yen. Looking at it, the most pips I've ever gotten is not from scalping. I can get extra pips, no problem. The system is built to get you extra pips easy. You can scalp it. But this isn't where the big picture is. If we sit down and we trade like banks, obviously banks are smarter than we are. Because it's their business. They created it. It's their game. They created it so they can make money. And a lot of us, we trade not like the banks do, but if anything, we trade the way we were taught to trade, or the way most people trade, because they think it's easy. But it isn't easy. The stories you will hear will always be that people were trading and somehow they lost all their pips. But let me take this for you guys. Looking at here's the USD, okay? It's very simple. Here is the 60-minute chart. This is the 4-hour. And we're looking at right here. This is the daily chart. The bottom one is the weekly chart. And I'm going to start doing this so that we can get into those trades together from now on, and we're just going to see how it goes. Generally speaking, banks do not trade every single day. They can go a week. They can go 2 weeks without getting into a trade. But what they do is that they have people on the screen every single day watching to see what their currencies are. That's a fact. They don't need to get there and get 30 pips. So people like us, we try every single day to get 30 pips. Meanwhile, the banks are getting our money. Here is this system is as accurate as that you're ever gonna get. Looking at this, the USDN itself, let's see. Hold on for 1 second. Looking at it right there, okay? The 60 minutes at the moment says that we are long. It crossed over. If you would have wait for a pullback, somewhere around the 99, the low for the USDN is 99.77. It actually broke 100 and it started dropping, but the high for it is 140. It hasn't broken 150. That's the hour. The hour just turned short. I mean, just turned going long. And if you're looking at it last night, the hour went short. It dropped. It went to, like I said, it went to 99.77. Then it reversed 3 hours ago, and it went long. That was the Asian session. The 60 minutes represent your swing chart if you want to swing it, and I will show you guys how you trade that. And this is your 4-hour chart. This is important. If it pops a dot, it says you're short. You're short. When it says you're long, that means you're long. Those are very specific. If you follow them correctly, you'll always know exactly where you are. And here is your daily chart. And this is the big picture. This is the way banks trade. Right now, looking at this, the system said we'll be long since, well, the very first one we got was right here at 98. Right there. Actually, it crossed over. I think we started going on at 97.60. What was it? 97.87? I can't remember now. 97. It was in the 97 when it crossed the first long. Right here was at 97.80. It took us long. The way banks trade and the way we're going to start trading, so you guys do not get 30 pips one day, 30 pips second, third day, and then turn around the fourth or the fifth day, you give it all back, okay? Right here, the moment the daily turns and it starts going, you get into this trade. So you're looking at this currency. If the daily is long, as a general rule, it stays long. It does not change. This is one day. And then you take the 60 minutes, it will swing, meaning it will change continuously over and over and over again. It changes, but the daily itself stays intact. It does not change. If we are trading in the direction of the daily, every single time, for example, like right now we are long, as soon as the 4 hour is long and the hour is long, we can take long trade. We'll have no issues getting all the pips that we want. So every single time we trade, like for example, if we were long here at 97.89, every single time the USDN would have dropped in the 60-minute chart, we will get into trades. Like right now, for example, here we go. These are all when it was at 97, I believe it was right here. It even goes further back in the hourly chart. It kept dropping. It goes long, then it drops. Every single time it does that, we add to it. And as it continues to push up, we will add to it. You can keep adding to your long. And this is the way I want you guys to trade. That's how we're going to start trading. That way we trade just like the banks. You guys do not make 30 pips one day and give it up. Right now, looking at this chart in the daily, looking at the daily chart, it's all the way at the very top. The daily's been long for quite some time. The USDN, it's at 140. That means we cannot take any more longs at all. There is this huge thing where they're saying that the USDN, they're going to take it to 100, to 110 or 105, whatever. If we did not get in right here, somewhere in the low 90s, like 97, 96, we don't trade. We are not taking any trade in this particular currency. But however, when we do, when it turns, it starts dropping, and it's confirmed in a daily and also in the hourly. We know it's going to drop significantly. We'll be able to get 400 pips, 500 pips, but what's going to make it great? It's not the 400 pips we're going to get. It's not going to go straight down. It's every single time it pulls back, going long, we're just going to add to it. Like right now, the highest it went is 140. Is it going to continue going past that? I don't know. None of us knows. All we know is this. It is currently, for it to go short, at the moment it's saying 99, it has to reach 99.30. That's not far off, but understand this. The more selling that there is in the 60 minutes and the more pullback, the more selling, Cobra will meet it up, and our short could be somewhere around 99.74. We may not even be that far from going short. So we are not going to jump this going short. But we definitely are not going to take any more long because it's not worth it. We will get stuck. From now on, what I'd like to see is us trading like banks. You're looking at the weekly, that's how they trade. The weekly is long. It takes a lot, just like the daily, it takes a lot to change it. The weekly, even more so. The weekly at the moment is long, daily is long. Everything, every single trade, every single time the 60 minutes turn short, we should be going long. But the problem is, if we were not long at the very beginning, it's too late to get in. Does that make sense? Too many days has gone by. If we get into this trade right now, we'll be at the very top. If anything, if I had to take a trade in the USDN, I would be short. I will not be long. Way too many days. We can sit there all day long. Right now, that's all we're going to do. And every single day, we're going to multiply our trades. The USDN is long. It's overbought. We are not getting into trade. We're just going to sit there and watch it. We're going to wait until Cobra confirms that we are short in the daily and the hourly. Then we're going to start placing our trades. And I will show you guys you'll be a lot more successful, and you're not going to have much, you're not going to have a lot of heart attack. Any questions on the USDN before I move on? The daily, it took us long right here. And the pricing was 97.22. It took us to the very top, which was 99. So these are not legs. This actually, that was a move. So basically, they kept it in a tight range. It was from 97, it went to 99. It was just 100. That's all it paid. It paid close to 300 pips. They're not swinging it that much. But they did take it short in the daily, and they reversed it, and they took it back again down to 97. Again, they kept it in a tight range. So when we have to respect this guy right here. As soon as it says we are short, we are short. So now if you go back, it doesn't matter how far back you go. They will all pay you in the daily. Now it goes, even this one right here, when it took a short, for a moment, it still paid. It went from 98.85, it went short to 98.05. That's still 40 pips. Sorry, is that correct? 98. I think the highest it went would be 98.85, 98.08. That's like 80 pips. You still get paid. If we are following the daily chart, I would say 10 times out of 10, if not 9 times out of 10, you are actually going to get the pips that you need to get. And you're not going to sit there and keep, these are daily chart, guys. I mean, you're getting those pips, and you can stack to them every single time the 60-minute chart changes. And the 60-minute changes, if you're looking at it, quite a lot. It drop, you add to it. If you are long, it goes short, you drop, you add to it. And you know what? That's all you're looking for. This is what you call, this is your swing chart. It's swing short, you add to your long. It's swing short, you add to your long. And this is why it becomes really, really important that you as a trader, you know your currency. Like the USDN, I've been watching it for some time now. And the EURUSD, those are my babies. Those currencies, I know them well. I'm comfortable, and I understand now that when it reaches 99 or once it leads about 100, I'm not looking at long. If I did not get long around the 97, around 97, forget it. I needed to get long there. If not, I am not doing that. I'm not going to try to say, oh, it broke 100, because I had learned like a huge lesson, and I say it all the time. I think it was in May. Everyone talked about how this currency, the USDN, was about to go to 110, and the system was saying that I was short. It was turning short. It was actually short, and I was long because people were saying it was going to go to 110, and I was not paying attention to the system itself, and it cost me so much. It was the worst experience I've ever gone through. I'm not doing that anymore. When this says that I'm short, or if it says I'm long, that's what I am. Because you know what? You go back, it's not going to lie to you. So I wanna repeat this to you guys again, so you guys get it. Right now, at the moment, we at the very top. We came from the bottom of the ocean. We only had blue candles. It makes its way all the way to the top. The next daily candle long, it's gonna be pretty. It will be somewhere around 180 if it makes it all the way to the top, or somewhere around 150. Guess what? I'm not taking any long. I prefer that this turns and starts going short. Then I'm going to start taking it short. If we do not get in long at the very bottom, we are not getting in. Simple as that. Now this is the Euro USD. This is as precise as this is gonna get for you guys, so you understand this. Again, looking at it, the daily went short at 137.89. Okay, it took us short very, very early. There was no question about it. We were short, and that's when I was talking that we were, this is over, it was overbought up here because we were all the way at 138. We were past 138. It started dropping and it went short. It went to 132.88. That's the last point. But here's the thing. It did not go straight down. So if you do the math, at 137, 137.60, somewhere around there, we're short, okay? And I remember both in the daily chart, the 60 minutes, we had major pullbacks for the Euro USD. Major swing, major pullback. So from 137.50 to, let's call it 130, I don't know, 132.50. We're talking about 500 pips. Again, looking at it was short for so many days. It's not like you need to stay in all these many days. If you're up 400-500 pips for a week, but it's not, like I said, it's not just say, oh, I got 400 pips at $10 or at $5. That's not the point. The point is, how many times did it go short? And then reverse it went long in the 60 minutes. And every single time it went long, since your daily short, you're adding to your short. And then you keep going down. And you're doing them so close to Cobra. And Cobra becomes your out, because we have to have a definite out. The out has to be specific. Until Cobra changes, we're still short if we're short. Like at the moment right now, again, the UUSD was at the very bottom, and I remember I was looking at this chart because all the reports, and I read a lot of magazines. I was reading, and I even followed Draghi, and his whole thing is Spain had complained that the UUSD, the euro was very, very strong, and there it's not being competitive. They needed to do something to weaken it. And then he said, yes, he agreed that the euro should be somewhere around 130. That's where we would like to see it, 130. And if anything, 129, that would make sense for him. So I was watching and I was listening and I was waiting, but I was also watching the system to see. And I remember looking at these candles. They were so far at the bottom. Remember, guys, these candles do not repaint. I say it all the time, is so that when you are trading other system, you can come in and then you look, the candle that was here, all of a sudden it's there. It's way up there. If it was at the bottom, all of a sudden it's way up. And then you are wondering, how did that happen? It's not that price move, is just that the system that you are trading is actually, it's repainting. It's not correct. It doesn't stay where it's supposed to stay. This system stays wherever whatever you saw, you saw. So anyhow, I remember when this was turning going long. So now my whole question has been for the last few days is that, looking at the weekly is short, the daily is long, and it's been saying ranging. It hasn't even said long yet. The candles are not that big. It's already at 135.26. I know this doesn't go, although it doesn't go straight down. It's just a push up, and once it goes short, that's when they're gonna take it to 131. So for us, I have some trade that I'm managing. As soon as this goes long again, I don't believe it's gonna go all the way back up. Maybe in a couple of days, they're saying Tuesday, Wednesday, they're going to swing it and it's gonna go back short. As soon as it starts going short, when I said this, I'm talking about the daily. It will be very easy short for me to take. First of all, it's at 135.25 at the moment. It's going long. The daily is long, but the weekly is short. 4 hours long. The hourly is long. No matter what we do here, we cannot take long in retrospect, because if we did not get it at the very beginning, which was around 133.95, then we've missed it. And that is true position trade. And every single pullback, if you look at it, it will not get back to 133. It won't, because the lowest that it went was 134.73. Until Cobra turns and says you are short, it will not go short again. It will not go past the point of 134.73. That's its low. At the moment, it's at 135.26. So it's putting new highs every single time it pushes up. When it's pushing down, it's putting higher lows. You guys understand what I mean by that, right? I want to make sure you understand this, because I want to make sure every single one of us are successful from now on, not just a couple of us are getting a ton of pips and then you don't understand how, and I'm getting all these emails. And some of you guys come in the trading room, some of you guys don't, and I get bombarded with email asking me how come so and so get pips, and then they weren't there, and then they missed it. So I'll make it really simple. We're just going to do all the position, because all the pips that I've gotten, I didn't get them sitting there scalping. All I did, I followed the daily, I waited for a pullback, and I added to it. And I remember Tom was trading the EURUSD, and I think they dropped the EURUSD, and he was in I think it was in long. They dropped it. I believe it was, where was it at in the USD? Let me see. It was this right there. It went short, long. I mean, it went long, short, long. Then they took it long. But here's the thing: if he's trading in the direction of the daily, that wouldn't affect them. What would happen is this: the daily is already long. If they dropped it, which they did to 133.91, that wouldn't phase him. He would have just added more to his trade going long. Instead, he was long, which was correct. When they took it short, he got out, lost 30 pips. Then it reversed again and it went back long to 135. He was all irritated by that. But that's exactly what happened. Looking at the chart, look, it was 135.90, 133.90. They pushed it all the way down there. The next push down, 134.22. And if you're looking at Cobra Stick, it's catching every single one of them in a 60. The next push down, guys, 134.30, 134.34. The next push down, 134.79. So now time you can see that. And this is the beauty of trading, just doing position trade, guys. And I guarantee you guys, well, this is a strong word. What I'm saying is we will do, all you guys will do so much better. It took me a long time this weekend. I was watching this. I was in the office quite a lot this weekend, reading and looking at this. 30 pips, looking at the 60, the 1 minute, we can get that. But in the process, you're going to lose quite a lot. And I don't want that. You guys are, I want you guys to be as safe as possible. That's what banks do. Why not do exactly what they do? The system will show you if you're long, if you're ranging. Like right now, it's saying that it's ranging in the daily in the EURUSD. We're long here, long in the 4 hour, long in the, what do you call it? In the 60 minutes. It's also now it's saying ranging. It tells you exactly everything you need to see. You're looking at those, your dot, it pops a dot here saying, hey, so even this short in the daily, we would have never taken that short because it was so small. It didn't even register. That's the weekly. But the daily itself, it was right in the money. It says for us to take short, we took short. End of story. When it says for us to go long, we're long. So at the moment, we are getting close to the means in the daily in the EURUSD. We cannot trade that going long. If we did not take it at the beginning, then we wait. Every single day we're looking at it. Every single day we're going to be looking at it. Any question in the EURUSD? And then position trading, guys, you don't have to trade 15 different pairs. Every single one of us can say, hey, I will work with you guys on that. If you say, look, I'm going to pick the EURUSD to trade. Some of you guys might pick the USD yen, some the Euro yen, whatever. The system will read whatever you need to, whatever chart. And then you know what? Every single day we'll come in here. Our job is to make sure you get in great position trades, and then we'll just take them together. Not a huge deal. Yeah, since the USD weekly is short, yes, since the weekly is short, the next best position trade is to wait for the daily to go short. I don't want to mess around with that right now. It's already at 135.24. They're trying to push it down. When I say they, I'm talking about the ECB. the European Union, every single one of them wants, that's what they want. They want a weaker euro. So if it goes all the way up, it's going to be all short. And that's what we're going to be waiting for. We're not going to chase this long. Any question on the Euro USD? So you want to know if it goes to 136, if we're going to wait for it to return short? Yes. We are not going to jump trade, okay? So what that means is if we say I've done this before and it is the worst thing to do, I'll look at the Euro USD and I'll say, wow, it's at 135 or it's at 136. It's so expensive. It's going to go short now. I'm going to start placing my short. Well, guess what? Last time I did this, I was a ton of pips early. I don't need to do that anymore. This system tells me when I'm short, so why wait? Why bother and start taking shorts before it's short? If it says I'm long, I'm not going to. This is a crystal ball. I can see what's going on. I'm not going to sit there and keep waiting and start placing short. Like right now, I could say, oh my God, it's at 135. Let me start going short. Oh, really? Okay, then I'll be doing that at my own risk. What if it goes all the way to 140? It could. So that would be 400 pips. So as opposed to sitting there and start putting on trade, I'll wait for it. I'll wait to see when Cobra turns and tell me I'm short, then I'll start taking short. We will not assume ever again that a currency is overbought or oversold and then we then start taking our own trade. That's not happening. I don't care what countries are saying. It makes no difference. We are trading the system. That's what we're committed to, and that's what we're going to do. Fair enough? All right. Now here's our euro yen. This is a very interesting currency at the moment, and I decided with position trading, especially because of this currency. This is, I don't know, what do you call it? This has been my this currency has been my nightmare currency, and I want to master this currency. And the only way I can master this currency is by position trade. That's the only thing that works with this currency, the euro yen. Here's why. Looking at it, it pays a ton of pips. Okay? No questions. A ton. But if you're on the wrong side, it's going to tear you apart. And here is why I say this. Right now, the euro yen started going long at 132.0 in the chart. Okay, well, let's look at the short first. Just like the euro USD, it went long. It went all the way to 135.08. Then it crossed back and it started dropping somewhere around one. It was in 130. It started going short at the very top. Somewhere around 135, it also started going short. 135. I think it was. I can't remember now. I think it was 134.75. It's the euro yen started going short, and it just dropped. And I posted all my trade, and it was just dropping, and we're just getting a lot of pips. It went all the way down to 131.24. It dropped 500 pips. But during that process, again, you're looking at the 60 minutes. Look at all the pullback. It was dropping, Look, big drop. So that's when the drop started. Right there. Actually, I think even further back. Is it further back? Yeah, right there. It started dropping. It started going short right here at 134.81. It dropped. This is the 60-minute chart, okay? Then the daily was short. 10:31. That was the date. It started going short. It's going short. It dropped all the way down to 133. The date is, it doesn't affect it. Push back long to 133.60 in the 60 minutes. Doesn't affect the daily. It dropped some more all the way to 32.57. It pushed back long again, 133.38. We wait for that long to go to, then we add two more short. But as you notice, then it drop. It makes that huge drop to 132.36. You just keep adding to it. But once your daily is short, you are so far up. Any push long can no longer affect you, because you just keep adding to it. You keep adding to it. We keep adding. We add to it until then we can decide. Okay, 500 pips, and we have like 8. So then once it turns, you'll be able to see that it's going to turn, because guess what? You will notice that you're at the very bottom of the ocean. It's going to look really flat. The 4 hours is going to start looking up. That means, hey, we're turning around. We're going to be long. And such was the case once it turns long. Like right now, it's been long for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. But it's already making its way all the way up to the top. We cannot afford to take long here. Are we clear? We are waiting for the euro yen to turn short. It's at 135.20. So its highest it was 135.24. So in retrospect, you can say, oh my God, this is overboard. It's so expensive at 136. Who cares? Guess what? It might go to 138. We don't know. But the system will tell us if it's at 138, right? So why mess with it? We will wait for this guy to turn and see if we're long, if we're short. As soon as it turns, no problem. I will be short in the daily, and every single time the 60 minutes pull going long, I'll just add to it. That will eliminate the need for us to sit there and keep watching and having to deal with this stuff right here. Hold on. Is a 60-minute chart? I mean, this is a 1-minute chart, okay? You guys don't have to deal with all that nonsense anymore. Trying to get it's too hard for most of you guys, and that's okay. Look, all this stuff, you don't need that. I can trade this. The system works. You can get in, boom, it turns. You can do that all day long. But you know what? What if you can get just as many pips, like 3 times the amount? 3 times at the end of at the end of the daily, at the end of the day, the week, you look at it, you said, oh, how many pips did I get? If you got 400 pips or 300 pips, but here's what makes it so unique. You didn't just get 300 pips because you got 300 pips, but you got it stacked. That's the way I want you guys to look at things now. and you guys will get a lot more success. Your account will go a lot faster. Right now, we missed this daily. I mean, we missed this long. That's okay. Let's allow it to keep pushing. This is the euro yen. It's at 135.20. Beautiful. It's been long. It's already past the mean in the daily. The weekly says long because we have a yellow candle there. It's about to push past it. It's saying long, but for me right now, that's fine. If we didn't get in at 132.78, we've missed it. We respect that. Let it go. Guess what? That's all they do. They make them go one up and down, guys. There is no secret to this anymore. The secret is out. Look, long, short, long, long, short, long, short. It's not a secret. We are the one making this difficult. We can look at the daily, the weekly, 4 hour, 60 minutes. We can do all that. But most importantly, if you understand the currency that you are trading, when I say understand it, I'll say it. The euro yen at 134.24, yeah, it's getting up there. It's because the euro USD is also getting, the euro is stronger. So if those two currencies, the euro USD is going long, the euro yen is pushing long, eventually they're going to top out and they're both going to drop. And guess what? You're going to be getting a massive amount of pips, and we will post them. We will do them together. Any question from anyone for the euro yen? Very basic rule is this. We are not going to take a position trade in a daily when it's been running for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. That's not going to happen. We're always going to take it at the very beginning. I'm going to be assigning currencies for you guys to be looking at. As soon as the daily is just about to change, we're going to start looking into them. Right now, the dollar yen, because I remember time we were talking, you said when it reach 150, you want to start shorting it, correct? So the USDN has it does its thing. It has a tendency of pushing to 100, like 100, 140, 150, then it turns, then it goes short. Looking at Cobra in a daily at 99.42, it will go short. And then again, looking at it, it could go all the way back to 101. It could go all the way up to 101. So I don't want to guess that. I did that before. When I knew the top of these currencies, I'm not interested in doing that. I will wait. As soon as this turns and says that I'm in, it's short, then I'll start taking short. And then the way we're gonna get into our shorts or longs or whatever direction is the daily is turning short. We're looking at the 60 minutes to see if it's long and it's just about to go short. And we'll look at our pricing and then we'll leg it into the trade, and guess what? We'll just let it go. Very simple. Sorry, I've been talking this whole time, but you guys, I was muted. So anyways, what I was saying is, this trade right here. Where was it at? 103. What I was explaining earlier was that the Japanese government had made really important announcement they were going to weaken the yen. So they took it all the way back to about 103.50. So I was looking at it, I was excited, and everyone was saying that, every analyst in the world, they were saying that they were going to be taking the USD yen to 110. Even though my system after it went long clearly showed it started going short right there early on. Instead, every single time it dropped short, I was adding long. Every single time. And then if you guys are looking the date of the USD and when this happened, okay, this is how accurate this was. It started in the USD and it turned around. And if the reason that I said this date is really important, so it was in May. That's when I started. It went short. May 21st, it started dropping. Cobra said that I was short. It dropped all the way down to 93. And that's after the Japanese government had announced they're going to weaken the yen. And I wouldn't believe it. The system said I was short. Instead of me being short, I was adding long. Then it dropped to 93. And within moments, it turned around. It went all the way back to 179. Then it dropped back again to 98. So what I'm saying to you guys is this. It's very simple. The daily chart is magnificent. Look. Let me make this slightly bigger for you guys. Look at this short. It started going short right here when it reached its top, 185. It dropped all the way back to 96. It reversed again and went long, all the way back up to 99. It reversed going back to 97. The system is so accurate that sometimes it bugs me. Where did everything go here? I'll fix this later. But if we are waiting every single time it drops, we will be in great position. Hey BJ, how you doing? Looking at the UNZD on 10/22, right? 10/22, 2013. The daily started going long. It went, the price was at 161.86 and it went to 167.88. 161 to 167, right? That's a lot of pips. Because I was getting a lot of emails over the weekend, and some people they cannot make it in a trading room because of when they work, they have to sleep, all this kind of stuff. So I want to answer all these questions, and I want to find an easier way. What it is that people are scalping, they'll get their 30 pips, let's say they got 30 pips today, tomorrow, the next day, or whatever, 2, 3 days later, then they end up giving like half of it, if not all of it back. So I wanted to show people how the banks trade, what makes it so much easier. So the Euro NZD went long, then it reversed and went short. So what I want to start doing is this. As soon as the Euro NZD turn long, or any of the currencies, like right now, look, the daily is long. It just took a breath going short, and it went to 160.62, and then it went long at 161.54. The 4-hour went long at 161.19. That's correct, right? No, 161.19. Yeah, that's when it went long. And right now it's at 161.49. So every single time the Euro NZD, look at, it's been short on the 4-hour. It's just dropped so much. Now the 4-hour is about to change, but ideally it dropped. It went short to 160, actually 160.83. As soon as it turned going long, since the daily is long, you start going long every single time. But the key to it is this, is to pay attention as soon as the daily starts going short, start turning, for example, or short. As soon as it starts going long, at the very beginning, the very first candle, not the second, not the third, the very first day, when Cobra says we are long, this again, this system does not repaint. It's not going to say you're short or you're long and you turn around, next thing you know you're in a different place. It doesn't do that. If it says you are long, you're long. So when it turns and says you are long, you can start taking long. And what end up happening is, like right now, you could easily get into a trade in the Euro NZD and you'll make 30 pips. The 4-hour is just turning long, but the long actually was right here. This is when I want you guys to start. That's what I want to start doing with you guys. If our daily is long, look, it dropped 160 to 160.83. No matter what happens, it doesn't make any difference. It's going to bounce back and go long because the daily is long. All this drop right here, all it did is allow you to get into even a bigger, in a better position. So at the end of, when this long is done, guess what? You're going to end up with 500, 600, 700 pips. But the 500, 600, 700 pips you're going to end up with, it's going to be so much more, because every short, if you're long in the daily, every single time, look, it drops short, the daily is long, you just add to it. It pushes long. It goes short, you do not trade the short. Like right now, it's at the very bottom of the ocean, guys. It's very clear. Daily is long, right here. The hour is long. This is going to push and go all the way back up for you. Does that make sense? You're trying to get 30 pips, you're going to get more than 30 pips. You're going to be getting like hundreds of pips now. It's because it's going to be so much easier. But we will never get into a trade. For example, this, right now this has been long for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. The only difference is when this went long, so the daily is taking a breath. So like right now I wouldn't be taking any long. So that could be the breath in this daily. And now it's turning around and it's going to be back long. But again, And then again, what's critical about us trading currencies is this. You have to know your currency. The UNZD, I don't know it well. I've been watching it, trying to understand how it moves, when it's overbought, oversold, so I can have an idea, but I'm not going to trade overbought, oversold anymore. That's what I was saying. That's what I want you guys to understand. See, this Cobra is turning to go long right here. It's pushing, it's turning right before you. So when we started talking about this, pricing was at 61.40, and since then it actually moved 30 pips. It's a lot easier for you to get 30 pips once you understand that this is actually pushing, but the actual turn itself was at 61.20. That was 50 pips ago. Anytime the daily is long, it drops on the 4 hours done, the hours done dropping, it's turning, it takes a long, you add to your long position and you keep on going. Even this short, it went short at, it went to 161.38. If you added you turn, it goes long, you add it to it, it turned back, it dropped back again. It's okay. As long as your daily is long, no worries. You just add to it. As soon as it turns, you add to it. See, by now, it's going to meet your initial price, so you're going to have to basically two, sometimes three. By the time you're done, you probably can have 8, 9 trades. So 250 pips. But if you have 8 trades at 250, so that would be about 2,000 pips, correct? 250 times 8, that's 2,000. And that's the beauty of trading like a bank. Banks do not scalp. So look at this, 61.78, that's the price we're at. At the beginning when we started talking, it was at 61.40. Since then, 61.76. We can sit there and watch it go. We can look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour is just about to start. Brand new 4 hour. To me, to be honest, it's a great position trade. But I just don't want to start because when it already had a big pullback in the daily when it turned, the daily went long. It took a short breath all the way down to 61.09, and you're saying it has I believe that it can go way past 300 pips going up, but in the process you're gonna have a lot of pullback, up and down, up and down, but every single time it pulls back you just add to it. But see, we're already at 61.77. Do you guys see how easy it is to actually just get all the pips you guys want to get on a daily basis? Easy and simple.